Hi Cancer, thanks for tuning in. This is your reading for September. Grab some headphones and a cup of tea and join me here while I'm shuffling. Set aside any distractions or any other tasks that you may have been in the middle of. I want to make sure you get the most out of your time here with me, so please don't multitask. Bring all of your presence to the reading. While I'm shuffling, check in with your higher self. Ask your higher self to check into my higher self so that we can create a feedback loop. That way the messages that come through here today will be tailored especially for you. And if you do just take a second here to set up that dialogue, this will very much be a personal reading for you. So let's take a look at the energies available at this time. Cancer, let's have a look. Okay. Not a lot of major arcana energy in your reading this month. There's the Hangman in the position of your past, and then there's the Hermit in the position of the outcome. But other than that, that's all we have here from the major arcana. The rest of the cards here are, let's see. There's two court cards. One is the Queen of Cups in the position of you. I'm definitely seeing this as you at the moment, being that she's a water sign. Never mind about the gender, it's just about the archetype here. So the Queen of Cups is paired with the Ace of Cups in reverse in your quadrant. And then in other areas of the reading, the only other court card we have is this Knight of Wands in the position of your environment. But at the moment, I'm seeing that energy as you, not as another person. So I feel like at the moment, in general, if the impression I'm getting here from your spread is that there's a lot of energy being focused on your home life and your it's almost mundane, I would say. Like the focus of your attention at this time is on how and where to channel your energy as far as your day-to-day routines and living experiences, especially with regard to home life and of course work. I feel we'll get to that in a second, but there's the Six of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles in, there's another court card. But again, I'm seeing this as you in your hopes and fears quadrant. We'll get to that in a second. But in general, the feeling I'm getting here is that you may be like at this point where you need to make some decisions pretty soon about how and where you're going to channel your energy as far as living and working. Some of you, I feel like, may have been in a pause moment, you know, seeing that you have both the Four of Swords and the Hangman in your reading, both upright. The Hangman is in the position of the past and the Four of Swords is in the heart of the reading. And both of these cards speak about pause, reflection, contemplation, waiting, resting, meditation. So this is telling me that with regard to these issues that are on the table at the moment, that you may not have been able to move forward with your decision-making process, that you may not have actually been able to concretely commit to or confirm something with regard to a work agreement or a living agreement. You may not have been able to sign on the dotted line as far as like committing to a lease or a home or a purchase of a home or a contract for work or an investment of some kind. I feel like there's been a pending energy with regard to just these cards here. But I feel that coming into this time, perhaps from now towards the end of the year, there's going to be some changes with regards to those issues, and you will definitely be able to make some progress forward and commit to certain things and be able to transition out of a kind of pending state where you have felt like maybe you have not been able to make moves or make decisions or commit to things that really felt like they were the right thing for you. I feel like coming into this part of the year that those things will move forward. And if you've been feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant in some of those things, that will start to shift now. You have 6 and 7 of Pentacles in the upright position of your reading, which is great to see. The 6 of Pentacles is in the position of your hopes and fears. And it's paired here with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is telling me that it's kind of touching on what I've just spoken about there, is that maybe with regard to a work offer or some kind of either a contract or a job opportunity that may have been around. Like this, there could have been an offer on the table for you for a little while. But seeing you show up here as the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that that offer was not that interesting to you, and you maybe you couldn't see a long-term future with that, or you couldn't see maybe your ability to commit to it or to have the patience or the loyalty for it. So you may not have actually been able to give a yes to something that was being presented to you. Seeing the Seven of Pentacles come here in the outcome position at the end of your reading, along with the Six of Wands and the Hermit, is telling me that there is something else that is coming around. There's something else showing up that will give you a greater ability to feel confident and say yes to. That will also be a better investment. So the Seven of Pentacles here upright is saying that you're waiting for the thing to show up for you that you know is right for you, that you know will grow and will develop and will generate more energy for you in the long term, not just right now. So this could be about some type of investment or some type of work, whether the investment that is bringing about return, which is what this card is about. This card is about patience and return and investment and something growing. So this could be a relationship reading, but I feel for the most part that most of you watching here, this is about your work and your home life. So this Seven of Pentacles in the outcome is telling me that you're not looking for some kind of quick fix necessarily, and you're also there. I don't feel an energy here of desperation where it's like you feel like you need to make things happen quickly or make decisions quickly. There's a feeling here of slow and steady wins the race. There's a feeling of patience and virtue I'm hearing as well. Like I feel like for a lot of you watching here, you're not just grasping for something that's going to show up for you because you're in dire need. You're waiting for the right opportunity that has a resonant match with your values, with your principles, and with what you perceive to be your life path as you are imagining it unfold, and in ways that you want to invest in yourself as far as how you see the karmic landscape of your life being met by the way that you present yourself and the way that you choose to express energy in life. So there's a very spiritualized energy of this reading as far as that goes. Like I don't see this grabbing or grasping or desperation as far as like money is concerned. I feel like there's more of the concern is more about how does this project or offer or person or contract or etc. align with my ideals, with my values, with my frequency in general. So that kind of covers the work and financial stuff. Now, I feel like what's down here at the bottom of the reading is a little bit more about emotional energy and home life and just your general state of well-being. Seeing you here as the Queen of Cups with the Ace of Cups in reverse, I feel like there could be a little bit of energy of melancholy around at this time. Maybe for some of you, for many of us, this has been a really big year, and I feel like as we're kind of approaching the latter part of this year, there could be a feeling of frustration and even, some melancholy or even depression coming in, as there could be a tendency to feel a little bit like, you really want to move things along. You want to embody the changes that you feel like you've experienced. You want to ground into the physical reality, the changes that you've experienced on a spiritual level. But for some of you, there's still some things falling into place, and I understand that frustration, and I understand even that melancholy if that's where you are at the moment. But just to say here that keep moving forward, don't give up hope, maintain an optimism and a positivity here, because there is a lot of energy around that's showing up here that's very much in alignment with all the things we just spoke about. And I feel that there is some changes coming in here through. I feel with this Two of Wands and Six of Wands at the crowning card positions of the reading, that the things that you really see fit your life and match your vibration are coming through. And you're sitting here at the crowning card position in this Two of Wands position, actually in a position of power. Like this decisiveness that is coming to you, like this Like this Two of Wands might seem like a whatever card, but actually it's a really powerful card. This card is about like you holding the world in your hands. Like you're here, you are here holding and nurturing this sphere, which actually represents the world and beyond. Like this is all your manifestation ability and power. It's in your hands. And I feel like you're aware of that at this time, and that's why there's this careful deliberation energy around in this spread. It's not, there's no, you're not, I don't feel you coming from a place of desperation or of grasping or of urgency. I feel like you are, and that's part of this Hangman and Four of Swords in the reading too. There's this energy here of you being actually very aware and particularly lucid about the energy and about your life right now. And you have been maintaining a very patient and steady stance in the way that you are maintaining your energy as things are unfolding through this time. But we're human too, and at the same time that can be true, we can also experience frustration and irritability and impatience, and that could be some of this melancholy here. But the point I'm making is that you are actually in a very empowered position here. There is this Six of Wands in the outcome position of your reading, telling me that throughout what may have been a trying period, there may have been like some kind of discouraging moments through the year, some difficulties, some trials and tribulations. But you're walking ahead here with a very head high, kind of confident and optimistic and successful energy, and a kind of like paired here with the Hermit in the outcome position. This feels to me like there is this energy here of you feeling very confident in your own ability to troubleshoot, to make clear decisions, to trust your own intuition, to listen to your inner voice, to take time to yourself when it's needed, to withdraw from circumstances, people, and situations that are maybe like not really suiting you in a way, and using your personal time and space to kind of analyze the data, go over and like analyze what you feel, and come to conclusions that are authentic to you, because you've taken the time to learn who you are and what you need and want, and have clear boundaries and those kinds of things. So I got distracted. I was starting to talk about the home life and these cards here at the foundation of the reading. It's all connected though. It's all intertwined. This energy around decision making and confidence and doing the right thing for you and everything is also very much connected to these things here. So while there may be a little bit of melancholy at this time, there is this very determined drive, I feel, from you to kind of continue your journey, to continue moving forward, to continue to strive for greater more out of yourself. You know, I feel like there's a drive within you to kind of continue that exploration, to use discipline and willpower to continue to understand more about who you are and what drives you and what your karmic blueprint actually entails, and to study the map of that. So make sure that you're actually traveling in the right direction to ensure that you fulfill your karmic blueprint or your destiny, and maybe even transcend it. And final notes here on this quadrant, Four of Wands with the Knight of Wands in the upright position. This is in the area of your environment. Last points here, just to say that I feel that if some of you have been looking to, like, again, if this is about home life, if you've been looking to buy a house or move house or, you know, change location, there's something here about this kind of maybe landing around this time. Like there could be something where you are getting a bit more settled in this last part of the year, around this time, around this month. But there could also be something here about it being temporary, with it being with the Knight of Wands. So do with that as you will. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Eight of Swords in reverse, Seven of Cups, Judgment in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and there's also Justice here. I'm going to pull that as well because I feel like that's connected here with some of these contractual issues that may be arising at this time. So now you have in your reading two fours, two sixes, two sevens, and two eights, and two aces. So it's really interesting. How I'm feeling that is that there is like It's like you're not at the beginning, you're not at the end. You're somewhere in the middle, yeah, of a specific cycle that's unfolding. And you're doing pretty well. Like most of the cards are in the upright position. There's a lot of, I feel a lot of confidence in your spread this month. I feel like you're getting a handle on your circumstances, and you're gaining momentum. I feel like you're gaining clarity also, and I feel like you're gaining strength and confidence along with all of that, as far as you having kind of, there's a level of like having risen up to meet the challenges that you faced throughout the year. And as much as it's been very difficult, I'm seeing that you are gaining footing, and like you see the point of the climb. You're getting the wisdom that is there for you. Like the opportunity, you may not be, rather than seeing your circumstances from the perspective of you being victimized by the universe or being mistreated by someone, or etc., etc. I can feel here that you're seeing your circumstances as an incredibly beneficial opportunity to learn and grow along the way. And so you're taking as much as you can from the circumstances to really build up your self-confidence and your person in general, your being, your general archetypes are being kind of nurtured by what may have been difficult experiences, and you're gaining a lot of beneficial energy from it. You're also seeing the truth more. That's what I feel with this 8 of Swords in reverse and the 7 of Cups here. I feel like what's here is that it's important to remember to always see through any of your own potentially delusional energy that you might want to willfully project onto a situation to kind of tell yourself a story that you want to be told. But this is clearly saying here, like, don't do that. Don't step back into old habits, because this might have been behavior that you used to do that you've now realized you've been doing. And this is a time where it's really important that you be extra vigilant, that you don't fall back into old habits and let yourself get run away with stories of how and why you might be the victim in a situation, or how you can maybe just ever so subtly manipulate a situation to kind of get what you want out of it. This is just a reminder here to stay really vigilant and in your integrity, and activate what you know to be right action, and not fall back into old habits. Because with the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here with Justice, this is a clear message here saying that if you do that, like if you ignore what you know to be true and try to trick yourself into making it okay to sort of behave certain ways that you used to behave, that you figured out actually doesn't really work for you, but you kind of maybe see a moment here where you could try to do some little maneuver to get what you want, you're going to have to deal with karma if you do that. That's what karma is, I feel. If you make decisions or take action based on energies that you know are not right, that's going to come back around. So don't trick yourself into thinking that it's okay to do that. Be really vigilant at this time to stay in integrity and use honesty and clarity, Ace of Swords, to make sure that you keep moving through your circumstances with as much grace and as much poise and as much integrity and honesty that you can. Okay. This is very much a reading about you this month. I don't see other characters here. There could be some people around. Obviously, there's always people around. But like, I feel like the energy that's specifically being spoken of through this reading is really about you and your intention. There's a lot of energy here about intention, especially in these extended cards. And about your integrity, your decision-making based on clarity, based on wisdom, based on self-love and self-confidence, and about you knowing yourself really well. Just checking over here, but I feel that's it for your reading, Cancer, for the general reading. Yeah, just be really vigilant that you don't allow any kind of delusion or any kind of like old behaviors to sneak back in. If you feel like there's a moment where you could cut corners, don't do that. Be very, very mindful about that. Don't try to cut corners here, because you know better by now. That's the point. You know better by now. So if you try to do something sneaky or underhanded or deliberately manipulative to kind of get through something or get something that you want in a shortcut kind of a way, it's because you know you can certainly pull it off, but you're not going to get a free pass. That's the point with the Justice. Be careful of that. All right, let's take a look at your higher octave reading now with the Voyager deck. Tune in again with me while I shuffle. If it's your first time here, the higher octave reading is designed to give a little more insight into what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level. Will hopefully provide some guidance as well as how to best work with the energies that are available so that we can make the most out of the opportunities that we're presented with at this time. So let's take a look. Okay. 7 of Pentacles at the base of the deck, which you have here in your reading. 6 of Cups reversed, crossed by Death. Ace of Crystals in reverse, Strength in reverse. 4 of Worlds in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. There's some repeating cards here already. Woman of Crystals, Magician. Man of Cups in reverse. Time Space, which is Judgment in reverse. So these 2 cards are here repeating in your reading. 6 of Worlds, which you also had in the previous reading. 2 of Worlds. The Universe in reverse. This is the World card from other decks. And Chariot. A lot of major arcana energy in this spread. As if you remember from the very beginning of the first reading, I said that there was not much major arcana energy in that first reading. I think there was just the 2 cards, which was the Hermit and the Hangman. Here you've got Chariot, Magician, World, Strength, Death, Judgment. A lot of major arcana energy. A lot of major arcana energy. And really bold and very kind of graphic major arcana energy that's really speaking specifically to that level of integrity and authority that I spoke of before, where it's sort of, I mean, just simply seeing the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune cards both here in reverse as they are here in your extended from the previous in reverse, I think it's very telling. I would say it's almost a warning. I feel like you're really being asked here by your guides specifically to really be careful that you don't try to backtrack a little and go and fall back into old behaviors where you may have given yourself the ability to make decisions or take action that it was lacking in integrity because you knew you could get away with it, or because you knew you could, get what you wanted in a situation or make something happen in a way that was just quick and easy for you. I feel like this is saying here, like, don't do that. You've got Strength here and you've got Magician here. You've got 6 of Cups in reverse at the heart of the reading, crossed by Death. So in a way, it's almost describing that if you feel like, how do I describe that? Like, if you feel like you're an underdog in a certain situation right now, and you feel like that's not fair, and you should have something that you want, or you want to get something that you want in a certain way, is definitely a test here. Like, especially seeing the Judgment come out in reverse in both readings there. Like, again, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse in both readings, I feel like it's a warning here. Like, if you try to do something that you know is not 100% legit, or it's not completely honest, or it's not completely upright and not using integrity, there is a danger here that will have consequences. And you may not be able to see that right now, and that's the point of this reading. Is my job here is to show you the blind spots. So I'm just saying, like, if you feel like if an opportunity presents itself where you could cut a corner to get something that you want, don't do it. Just because you think no one will notice or no one will see, universe sees all, and there's consequences to everything. So just be careful and be mindful about that. It's saying here that you actually have real magic that you can work with. You don't have to submit to, or what's the right word? Give me a second. It's this energy of like trying to take shortcuts. Like, you actually do have the skills to exactly manifest the things you want in the way that is completely loving and compassionate, and with utter integrity and clarity, with real magic, without having to play those childish games, or that's not the right word I want to use. You know better, so do better. That's the point. You have real magic. Don't fall into old habits. Don't rely on old magic that's actually shortcut ways that actually lack in integrity because you want to get something happening quicker than you think it would if you did it properly. I don't know how to describe that. Be more patient with yourself. Be more patient with life. Understand that you are an entirely different person now than you were a year ago. So don't try to use methods or techniques that worked for you then, because you're not that person anymore. You've completely transmuted and alchemized your personality, your entire being. So don't restrict yourself or take 2 steps backwards in your development by trying to do something that you've outgrown. I'm sorry if I'm lacking the right words to describe that, but I hope you're feeling the energy of what's coming through here. Yeah, I feel like the death here as the crossing card in your reading is describing the way that the challenge for you right now might be to really like let that person who you were, really say goodbye to that person. Really let that person's, motivations, modus operandi, really go, really let go, really die off, so that you can really invoke the real new magic that you've learned through your challenges and lessons of the last year, and come from this other place rather than your old habits and behaviors. Okay, hope this is making sense. Seeing here that you've got the Chariot in the reverse with the World card in reverse here in these 2 quadrants, it is kind of what do I want to say about that? It is kind of this thing I was describing earlier, where it's like you could try to go back on. I kind of feel like where you're at right now could be just the tail end of this last little test that you've been through, for this kind of process that you've been deeply in for the last little while, and this could just be the last checking over to see if you really got it or not. And there's a risk here that if you don't do what you know to be right, and you rely on old magic, old methods, you're going to backtrack a little bit, and that will keep you in the cycle you're in, and you may not actually transition into the beginning of the new era that you've been working really hard to get to, because you maybe choose to act out in a certain way that you've already outgrown. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. 7 of Worlds in reverse. So in this reading you've had 7 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles, which you both had in the previous reading. Now there's 5 of Pentacles, Emperor in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse. So this is again some 2s in the reading. This 5 of Pentacles with the 7 of Pentacles, Emperor. Right, so 5 of Pentacles upright with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Emperor in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse. It feels more of the same as what I've been describing, although what I've been describing this whole time is much more of like a very refined kind of spiritual energy, emotional energy, mental energy. This is very physical. This is saying to me, this is saying that you could actually experience a financial loss. This is a financial loss. If you make decisions that are not coming from a place of integrity and clarity and righteousness, upright energy of like clarity of mind and heart, if you try to make decisions based on quick fix, quick buck, right? That kind of energy where maybe there's a high risk involved or something like that, there is a danger here that you will make a financial loss. So be really careful. All right, let me just check over here, see if there's any other messages. Stay strong, Cancer. I hope this message finds you well. I hope this is a timely message that if you're in the process now where you're about to make some big decisions and you may be signing documents or contracts or making investments, please keep that in mind. Like, integrity is really important in this reading, I feel. That's basically the main message of this reading, is that you may have come through a really difficult time through the year, and integrity has been a very fundamental part of your learning throughout this cycle. And you may be at the tail end of like closing out of this cycle, so that you're able to move really forward and clear out this energy that you've been in. But you might be getting tested at this moment with some kind of offer coming towards you that will actually give you the chance to see if you actually are really in integrity or not in your life. So just be aware about that, and be lucid as offers may be coming towards you, and be really, really mindful and really particular about what you say yes to around this time. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found something in there you can work with. Thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing, and I'll see you in the next reading.